It's Alea Antoine. You're listening to Tease Podcast.
Everyone loves a tease. Stop.
But don't get too excited. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tease Podcast. Happy Tuesday, bitches. I have a mini episode for you teasers today. Mostly because I don't think I can be trusted on the mic and on the camera for an extended period of time. One, no matter how ahead I try to get in life, I feel like I always end up getting behind eventually. You know, like when you feel like, oh, I'm ahead on this, I'm ahead, and you think you could keep that up for the rest of your life. And then 1 week comes and you're like, how did I get back to square one where I'm behind again? That is how I feel because I started a new job in Vegas. I think it might just be hitting a month. I started a new job. I don't know how many jobs I've had at this point. I feel like I'm always telling you guys, so I started this job. But I'm so excited because I am working on the Vegas Strip and I'm working as like a cocktail girl server type of thing, you know? And I'm not gonna lie, I was really stressed out about this at first because here's the thing. If you rewind T's podcast back to December or January, I think it was the January episode, we did vision boards, right? And I wanted to be a cocktail server, which is also like a bottle girl in Vegas, specifically on the Strip. Like that was my goal when I moved here. Like I was like, if I'm going to have a side hustle, I want it to be the liveliest, most fun side hustle possible. And I want it to be like the moment. You know what I mean? Like if I'm going to live in Vegas, I want like the full 360 experience. So we were making our vision boards and I put the bottle girls on my vision board and I was like, oh my God, if I don't achieve it this year, like what was this all for? You know what I mean? And I know damn well that that's so hypocritical because when we were making the vision boards, I was like, guys, you never know how things are going to show up. It might not be exactly. It may even be next year, but that's okay. Like, don't get too hard on yourself, blah, blah, blah. No, I have been looking at my vision board that's right there and I've been sweating. I'm sweating. I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't do it. Because here's the thing. Basically, in Vegas, you do auditions December, January, and then those auditions staff up the day clubs, the beach clubs, and the nightclubs, you know? And one really important thing that you have to know when you audition is someone. You have to know someone. And yes, there are the few rare cases where people get hired without knowing someone, but if you really want to like not do a 1 in a million chance and have a strong chance, you have to know someone. I did not know how important that was, so I auditioned. I didn't get anything, and I literally had like the ultimate crash out. Like I'm not gonna lie, like I was trying to play it cool, but I like cried for probably 3 hours. I literally felt as if I was auditioning for a team and I didn't make it. Like that's how it felt. And the reason why it hurts so bad is because one, it's like such a cool position. Two, like Vegas to work on the Strip and like an actual cool venue is really hard to do. It's a small knit community and it's kind of like what everyone wants to do at one point. You know what I mean? Like it's like when you're in high school, it's like the football cheer squad, basketball squad. Like it's like that thing. You know what I mean? Did I say squad? I meant team. But it's like that like team that like everyone wants to be a part of. No matter who you are, you would want to do it in another lifetime maybe. So I was like, I really want to do it like bucket list type of thing. And me, when I put something on my bucket list, I obsess over it. I obsess over it. And so then when auditions passed, I didn't get anything. I was like, oh my God, like my chance is gone because again, that's how they staff for the rest of the year. Somehow, some way, I was so blessed and a new venue opened up on the Strip, and it opened up like 2 months ago, I think, about 3 months ago. And then I went and auditioned for that, and I still didn't get it. I didn't get it because you have to know someone. And here's the thing, all the managers from that were hiring people that they had worked at other venues. So it's kind of like you have to know someone, but it's like, how the fuck do I get to know someone if I can't even like get one foot in? You know what I mean? So at this point, guys, I had been auditioning for any type of nightclub, day club, bartending, kind of like nightlife, day life position that I could on the strip. This was pretty much, what, how many months would I say? Like over 7 months of me doing this, you know what I mean? And I did not talk about this in depth on the podcast because I was still going through it. And I didn't want to talk about this till I made it to the other end. So I had done so many interviews. I had gotten dressed up so many times and it was like rejection, 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 rejection. And I'm not used to that. Like I'm used to, I apply for a job, I really want a job, I get the job. Like that's just how it has always gone. And I was like, WTF, you know what I mean? Like, and I also have a degree now. So I'm like, the fact that I'm even like trying to do this, like I should be getting it because I'm like overqualified, you know, but that wasn't happening. Now, here's on the flip side. When we did auditions, you also audition for like lifeguard, busser, server assistant, security. Like it's pretty much the quote unquote guy positions on the strip. And Kai applied for all of those. Like Kai applied for those and Kai got hired at every single venue. Now I know it's a little less competitive, but I want you to imagine that like you're me, you like really want to do this and then you tell your partner, you should do it with me, apply for these positions. Like I know that you don't want to be a bottle girl. That's not something you would ever want to do. But there's these positions that you may be more comfortable with. Let's both do it. And then the other person gets every single job. I think this is where gatekeeping stems from. Honestly, gatekeeping comes from the fact that this has happened to people, and once it happens to you, you don't want to tell anyone ever again your plans. Like, after telling you guys my plans, after telling Kai my plans, after telling all my friends, and then Kai got all of it and I didn't, I was like, I'm never telling anyone again. I will never get my hopes up again. Like, and then I see all the merch in my house. Oh my gosh, I was green with envy. And it was hard because I was happy, but then I was like, oh. But then we were like, okay, well, you have to know someone. Now Kai's in, maybe I can get a job that way. Tried that. It didn't really work because Kai had only been there for like a month. You know what I mean? So I was like, oh my God. Now here is where the universe and its plan always comes in and why you should always vision board. Is because so then that new venue opens up. Kai applies to that venue because a manager that they had at the beach club was going to be opening it. So that's how Kai got hired. And Kai was like, literally, all of us knew one of the managers at least. And then Kai recommended me for this job. I got an interview finally. I got the job. It's opening up a new place, and I've always wanted to be like opening crew somewhere, which no one tells you how chaotic that is because there's pretty much no rules, guidelines, and you're all just like figuring it out. But I'm literally so grateful. Like every time I go to work or I want to complain about like, I don't want to work today, or I want to complain about this table did this, like I like look out on the balcony and I'm like, I'm working on the Vegas Strip. Like, this isn't the same as like working in a restaurant in Texas or a nightclub in Washington. Like, this isn't the same as any of that. This is like a whole different level. This is like, there's no place exactly quite like Vegas, and not a lot of people get to work here. And a lot of people like have degrees, a lot of people have experience doing every other thing, and they still want to work on the strip. There's people who have like whole ass careers that still work on the strip because it's just like, it's the moment, it's iconic, and I'm so grateful I get to be a part of it. So now I try to like tell myself, like, as soon as I'm gonna start complaining, I'm like, okay, but these are good problems to have, you know? And I will say though that I underestimated how hard it was gonna be to ease a consistent job back into my schedule, because I haven't done a consistent job since the golf course, which was before I moved to Vegas, which was, I moved to Vegas last November. So that was the last time that I did the podcast and had a consistent like 4 to 5 days a week. So I've been struggling with that. And it's not even that it's like super hard, but it's like, you know, the hard part about like having a passion or a dream or wanting to like do more. I kind of wish I was one of those people that was just content with everything in life. It was just like, I don't really care like what happened. I wish that I was that person. I'm not that chill. And the worst part about it is that when you have a day off from your job, you're like, okay, I can't even like rest and just be chill or just drink and party. Like I have to get my other obligations done. And that has been such a wake up call, but it has been it's been really fun. And so I hope that it just like keeps going well. But yeah, keep vision boarding because I wasn't even going to mention that I was losing hope in all vision boards, but my hope is regained. Honestly, though, I don't think that you should ever test the universe quite like the way that I did with this. That was iffy. I don't know what I would have use motivation for in the future. Speaking of Vegas, I did get a question recently on the podcast question poll. I'll put them up on my stories like pretty regularly so you can write in whatever you want. One person wrote that they're turning 21 and they want to know what to do in Las Vegas, which I think that everyone who has a trip here in general is like, what should I do there? I've been getting a lot of DMs about it. The funny part is I get a lot of DMs about what should I do in Vegas. I'm going soon, but I can dead ass be honest. I haven't hung out with one person I know that has visited Vegas. Like, I know people, I have old friends, and I know that y'all are visiting Vegas, and I know that y'all know that I live here, and I know that y'all are not hitting me up. I don't really, it's fine though. Like, I'm not thinking about it that much. The only time that I actually got kind of offended was when someone who I literally share locations with's dot was right by mine. And I was like, what is she doing in Vegas? And she didn't mention it at all. And she definitely actually has my location. Anywho, what to do for your 21st birthday? I think 21st birthdays in general, it's so weird. When I turned 21, I had friends who were 23 and they're like, by the time you're my age, it will feel like a fever dream. And I was like, girl, like you're only 2 years older than me. I have to admit my 21st feels like a fever dream. My 21st was, I think I already told the story, but I did it in Seattle and my birthday was on a Sunday, and I have one of those end of the month birthdays. So my birthday was on March 27th on a Sunday. So we were like, okay, should we go partying the weekend before, but then you won't be 21? Or should we party the next weekend, but it's going to be April? It's not even going to be March. And for some reason, that made a difference to me. And Kai was like, you know what? Let's do it before you turn 21. You have a fake ID. It will be fine. It happened to be the one time that my fake ID didn't work. I ended up cussing out all of my friends because all of them were 21. So they were drinking and going to the 21 plus part and being like, hold on, I'll be right back. And there were times where I was standing alone in the 18 plus part because they're like, I'm just going to sneak away to the bar real quick. So I crashed out at the end of that. And then for my next birthday, for my 22nd birthday, I did like a wine chateau, which was the most beautiful birthday I think I've ever had in my life. I don't really like keep in contact with anyone that was there. But it was such a beautiful birthday. We went to Chateau Ste. Michelle, which is like in Washington. I'm a huge wine drinker. I need to do that trend on TikTok where it's like, "Na, na, na," and it's like the person's like, they'll put like milkaholic or like some random holic, and it's like them like drinking something. It doesn't have to be alcohol, and they push the person who's pouring it. It's like the when I turn the summertime sun. That one. That's the sound of it. I don't know if y'all know what I'm talking about. But I have like a huge wine drinker, so I like wanted to do more of like a cute daytime celebration. So we rented out an igloo. We had a wine tasting. I think we had the whole thing for like 4 hours, and it was so beautiful. And then this year I don't even remember my birthday. This year, I think that me and Kai decided to keep it really low key and we just went to dinner together for each of our birthdays. That was all we did. But 21st, I want to help you out because I don't want you to look back at your 21st and say, yeah, I crashed out on everyone that was there. In Vegas, there are so many things to do that I think that people get overwhelmed and they don't know what to do. What I will say is I think that if the beach clubs are open, you should definitely go. I think the person who wrote in, her birthday's in November, so I don't think the beach clubs will still be open. But I would go to the nightclubs for sure. There's always like some cool artist or DJ, and it's people that like have huge names that like charge for concerts. You know what I mean? Like I've seen Sway Lee, Janae Aiko, Kaylani, Metro Boomin, Fisher, Pauly D, Porter Robinson, Linska. I've seen a lot of like different artists in Vegas, and it's become like so normal now because I get to go all the time for free. But for most people, when you're visiting, like these are the only times that you can see an artist for free really easily. So I would hit up a promoter. You can find them on Instagram really easily, or I use the Tabler app, and I'll like get on tables that way. The only thing is that like they have to like look at your photos and approve you. So if I know that some people don't like that kind of stuff, but like I'm like, okay, whatever. So I'll do that. I would definitely go to a nightclub. My favorite nightclubs to go to are I really like Live nightclub, which is inside Fontainebleau. That one's always super fun, but that one is gonna be harder to get a free table at. Like that one, they don't do a lot of all girls tables. They'll do a lot of guys own the tables and then girls can join, but like you got to talk to a guy. When I join tables, I either like to go with someone where I know who's hosting it or my friend knows that person, or I go to like the all girls promotional tables, which is pretty much like in Vegas, they want everything to look lit and they want a ton of baddies there, you know? So they'll have a table that they literally just let a bunch of like hot girls in for free. And then you all sit there and you party and drink free alcohol. You're like an atmosphere model, basically. Like it's just so that way when guys look around, they're like, oh wow, there's a lot of girls here. But it's because we all got in our drinking for free. I love those things because those tables are worth thousands of dollars. And that's why Vegas is for the girls, because I literally go out. I have a probably 50K experience for $0. I don't pay for anything. Just the Uber, maybe. Just the Uber, maybe. And then, so I would say if you can get on a table, Live probably wouldn't be the best bet. Live is going to have a really good performer like Metro Boomin or Tiesto or John Summit, but you're probably to do guest list, which is also fun because it's like standing room and there's dance room. It's like just a normal club part. If you go guest list guys and girls can get on for free. Girls are the only ones that get the tables for free, but guys and girls can both use a promoter and you can get on the guest list for free. Another nightclub that I really like is Omnia. Omnia is just like the iconic, always fun one. It's inside Caesars. That one also, like, you could do a table or guest list, so you're gonna have a good time. They usually have like, I would describe Omnia as it feels like a really large rave. Like whenever I'm there, it feels like more of like you're not there for the performer, you're there because the experience with everyone is so cool. And then the other nightclubs that I like are, which ones have I been to? XS is really good. And I would honestly just pick your nightclub based on your performer. The only nightclub that I wouldn't recommend would be, honestly, all of them can be good. I don't know if I would recommend Zook. One time I went there and it was pretty slow. I know they have sometimes good performers, but it's not consistent. I would say like don't go to Zook if you don't have to. Zook is good though if you come with a large group of people and you kind of want the club to yourself because there's not going to be too many. And then I would also go to dinner somewhere. Any Tao restaurant is going to be so good. I would also, what's like an attraction that I did here when I first visited? There's a lot of party brunch places where they have like bottomless mimosas and huge mimosas. Like I would wake up, I would go to brunch, then I would walk around the strip because you need to walk around the whole thing. You can't just come stay in one spot. You need to walk from the Bellagio all the way down to like the Cromwell. Like you need to walk the whole strip because it's so cool. You'll see the Vegas showgirls walking the streets. You'll see like people dancing and like loud music. Like it's just like how when you're in New York, like you have to walk the streets one time. Or when you're in LA, you have to walk the streets one time. You have to do that. When my mom visited, we also went to a Cirque du Soleil show. There's a lot of shows and performances here. I really recommend Cirque du Soleil, especially if you're like only coming with like a couple other people or you're really into that or you want a cute date night. I would go to Cirque du Soleil. I went to the Messier one, which was really good. And then what else would I recommend? If you have money, go shopping. If you are not scared of gambling, gamble a little bit just for the high and the experience, but budget yourself. Walk inside of all the casinos. Walk inside the Venetian, walk inside Caesars. Those two for sure you need to walk inside because they're a whole experience in themselves. So yeah, that is exactly what I would do for my 21st birthday. I would wake up, I would go to brunch, then I would walk the strip, then I would go to a really cute dinner, and then I would go to a nightclub, and then the next day I would do that all over again, just in a different area. And then also there's Old Vegas, which is downtown, which is a little bit more like that, just like Vegas that you see on the movies vibe, you know? Speaking of places that are just like Vegas and you need to know what to do, guys, I am going on another trip next month. I don't even know how. When I started this summer, there was absolutely no way that I could have gone on 2 trips. And yes, they're both in the States, but like a trip is a trip, no matter how small. It doesn't have to be out of the country, but I'm happy that I just get to like go somewhere. I'm going to Miami in September for the first time ever. I've never been to Florida. I have never been to Florida. The only parts of the US I've been on is the South, but not Florida for some reason, the East Coast, and now I'm like going through the West Coast and like Washington, whatever. PNW I've all done. But I've never been to Florida. I've never been out here in Miami. We in Miami turning up another notch. I've never done any of that. I've never done any of it. What would y'all recommend? What would y'all recommend? Because I haven't been to a beach state in so long. Like Washington has beaches, but their beaches are grass and then water. So it's like not that great. And I hate how Vegas is a claustrophobic city. This is the first claustrophobic state in general that I've ever been in. Like I always am on a state that's on the edge. Like there's always been water at least if you drive. Like even Texas is on the edge. I feel boxed in. I feel boxed in. Like you can't get a beach here unless you go to California. You know what I mean? And so I'm really excited. What do I wear for Miami beaches? Can I just like wear skimpy bikinis? Because in Washington, people don't really wear bikinis, but I think Miami, you have to wear bikinis. What should I wear? What should I do? I got like some new clothes from Addicted that are like the whole sparkly thing. I love how sparkles are in because I am a sparkle obsessed girl. So I got like some new sparkling outfits. What is like the club apparel there? Like what should I wear? Is it more skirts, crop top, or is it more like dresses? And is it short mini dresses, or can I wear like a maxi see-through dress, or does it not really matter? Are there any must-haves to do? Are there any cultural like norms that I should adhere to that Miami does? Should I walk around the whole city at one point? Like help me out, help me out. I've always wanted to go, mostly because I also was watching Love Island Beyond the Villa and they went to Miami and I was like, I want to go. So I am so excited to go, especially because like when I told my family that I was going, like they were like, Alea, but you still have to come visit Texas for Christmas. And I know all my people that live in another state or place from their family, like you're like, okay, how do I manage buying and paying for travel to go back to see my hometown versus like trying new things? And I will say that like one thing I will never allow myself to do is to reserve all my money for only going back to where I'm from. Yes, I want to visit home, but I also want to see the world and see new experiences. I know a lot of people have trouble with that. Like a lot of my friends have told me I haven't gone anywhere new since I moved out of state because every time I have enough money for a trip, I visit my family. And yes, that's fun and all, but like also you can ask your family to visit you or y'all can meet somewhere and then have a trip that way. That would be so fun. Yeah, so let me know what I should wear. Let me know what I should do. Speaking of what I should wear, you know what outfit has been on my mind for a while? Halloween. Halloween outfits have been on my mind because I don't want to miss this Halloween. I have never posted one Halloween Instagram picture. I've never taken a Halloween picture. I am usually a person where I would say that I am proud of my outfits. I am usually really happy with the way that I dress. I like my style. I like the way I look. Like I normally look at my outfits in hindsight and I'm like, yeah, that ate. That was cute. I cannot name a single Halloween outfit that I have ever done well. I try to be overly creative and unique with Halloween, and then I end up fucking myself and actually looking worse and like going last minute for stuff. Middle school, I remember I was Young Money, so I dressed up as a baby with dollar signs all over me. It was like when those pun costumes were in. Don't judge me. One time I was a pimp, me and Kai dressed up like them, but it was literally a costume from like Spirit Halloween that didn't even fit me right. It was like huge, so I looked terrible in that and my hair frizzed. Last time, I think me and Kai tried to do the quote unquote wedding night where we were supposed to look like we just had honeymoon sex. Kai is like running around in Spanx. It was so funny. I remember these guys came up to us and they were like, "Are y'all Kids Bop?" And Kai goes, "No, we're the wedding night." Kai was running around in boxers with handcuffs on one wrist. And then last year, we tried to do strawberry shortcake and blueberry pie. And I just also missed and got no photos. It just wasn't cute. And this year, I know what I'm going to be. I have planned this out since August. I'm going to order every single thing this month because I am not going to risk my size being sold out. And I am not going to be overly creative. I am going to be basic with, not basic, but like, yes, other people might do the costume, but I'm just going to put my own twist to make it special. I think that's how you win at Halloween, by not being overly creative with the actual idea of what you're going to be, but being your version of whatever costume you choose. Taking the costume and making it uniquely you. But one question that I've had is, do you have to do couples costumes? Because the costume that I want to do for Halloween technically doesn't have like a couple companion, and the one that could work with it, Kai doesn't even want to dress up as. So can couples do different costumes? Because I know a lot of the thing that I see is couples costumes, couples costumes. But what if you guys both like want to be something else? Can you be something else? Is that like illegal? Like, I actually could not name one couple off the top of my mind where I'm like, oh yeah, they do different ones. But I think it's because in every relationship, one person usually cares and the other person is like, just dress me up, I don't care. I think this year, what I want to do, Kai would honestly just go along with whatever I say, but I just happen to choose the one costume where Kai's like, I do not want to dress up as that opposite. So like, can couples do separate Halloween costumes? Is that controversial? If you saw a couple dressed up differently, would you think they're not doing that well together? Or do you get to a certain point to where it's like, hey, like we're still two people, so like we dress up on our own? That's such a good question. Do couples do Halloween costumes? I need your feedback. Give me ideas. Also, if you need an idea, one thing I have not seen someone dressed up as that I really want to see, I want to see two best friends or two girls dressed up as Wednesday and what was her name? Her roommate. I want to see someone dressed up as Wednesday and the sparkly blonde roommate. I have not seen that yet, and I really want someone to do that costume. Like someone have a really cool like dark Wednesday costume, and the other person be dressed up as like the bubbly blonde roommate that turns into a werewolf. I really want to see that. Another costume that I want to see, I love seeing a Bring It On cheerleader, but I don't know where y'all get good costumes for that. I would love to see someone dress up as the Megan Fox ones. All of you girls who dress up as Megan Fox, I have yet to see one of y'all in person wear the DK purple and yellow cheerleader outfit. What else would be cute? Oh, I think a really cute couple costume or group costume or friend costume. This one's like really like interchangeable. Mario characters. I would love to see someone be Princess Peach, someone Princess Daisy, a Mario, a Luigi. That would be so cute. I really like that idea. I think that out of music videos, I love a good Xtina costume. Like you just can't go wrong. I know a lot of people are probably going to be Wicked. I feel like there's going to be a lot of duos that do Wicked. I could for sure see that. What's another costume that I think is really cute? I'm not into like scary costumes, honestly. I think the best way to pick out a Halloween costume is what is something you've always wanted to be, but you know that you'll never get to be it in life. What is something that you've always wanted to be or do? Like, let's say you've always wanted to be a doctor, but you know that you're not smart enough to be a doctor. Be one for Halloween. Like, do something that you can never achieve or be for whatever reason. That's who you should dress up as. Like even the Disney princesses, you're never gonna be a princess. You're never gonna be. So dress up as one. That is all that I have for you guys on today's mini episode. I had so much fun. And be sure to rate the show 5 stars on Spotify and Apple. It really helps me out. Write in a review, subscribe on YouTube, follow the Instagram at Tease Pod, at Tease Podcast, and everything else. I am Adalea Antoine, and I will see you guys next Tease Tuesday. I love you guys. Bye.